Hello, my name is Joshua Timothy Sisk, and I was asked a question from a doctor, why aren't you taking your medicines? Of which I've explained over and over exactly why. Because I live in my car, taking sedatives to the point that I am not registering, my subconscious isn't registering the ability to roll over because I'm so sedated in a acute care facility that my arm is completely cut off of circulation and I wake up with a frozen arm, directly relates and pulls to my mind homelessness in a freezing weather, sub 20 degrees with a 0 degree, what is that? Not pillowcase, a sleeping bag. All right. I don't have the option to take that type of medication and take that route. You did not offer any time for me to explain beyond what I articulated as such. I literally said that to multiple individuals. Now, with that being said, I'm very adaptable. I can't say I'm your average client. I do know that there's other clients like me that are using the same type of logic, period, and do not have the knowledge that I have. So utilize this video as such, okay? Whatever you need to move past, remove the emotions. That's what you're trained to do. Attack the problem. This image in front of you, let me see if I can zoom in. All right, this is pi. Every other line is the digits expansion of pi, up to -9, so that's 91 decimal characters. This is either a foot or a clock. It doesn't matter to me. This first 12 right here vertically is either a foot or clock. So you now have the ability to measure exactly, fact or fiction, whether someone is telling you the truth. Your subconscious will automatically, if you actually work through this, your subconscious will pick it up and start reorganizing. Then you will have a better gut instinct. I have been using this for decades. Okay, I can't explain to you how I received it, other than before I went into pre-kindergarten, I went through a special program of which I did not talk. I did not communicate. I've explained this over and over online and to others. It wasn't that I couldn't talk, I just didn't, and they couldn't figure out why. So this random doctor, which it can't be verified at this point, mostly because there were no computers. Additionally, because it was a speech therapist is what I was told. I was given tests, and then all of a sudden I had to start writing paragraphs over and over again. Now, this is pre-kindergarten. This is before that, so that doesn't make sense. I can't explain it any otherwise. I have these memories, okay? So the easiest way to say it is that night terrors, that can be verified throughout my family. I had night terrors as a child. So I then learned how to control those night terrors and then creating simulated realities in my subconscious, which figured out a process in which I can communicate and use my voice. We all have a subconscious. We all dream. That's it. Okay, this is a measurable way that you can calculate your effectiveness in your waking state. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a hint and we will go down. There are two lines here. It goes from 1 to 12, and then, what is it? It rotates the clock again. So 24 hours. This is your basic working grid. The letters in between the lines, Rick, all right, in between the lines articulate the lines at which you are supposed to see them. It is a self-teaching process. It's in case we hit an emergency situation. I don't know whether we learn something new and we have to rebuild the past to get to this point, so that way we can learn the next step. That is how I view life. I take it case by case, 50-50 basis. I know that I pushed past a 50-50 basis with a particular acute care facility, of which it was interpreted by my perception that my suicidal ideations, and they weren't really suicidal. They weren't. I don't know how. It's 50-50. It depends on perception. And the fact is, I know the difference. You know the difference, but you're looking for that 50-50. If you don't say, I'm suicidal, and what are the steps that you're going to do, which creates that dream, that reality in that person's mind, which is horrific, because then you've created that opportunity that, well, at any point I know how to trigger you and you just die off. That is a fucked up communique. There's got to be a middle line. There's got to be a secondary option. Anyways, removing that, I started with the ones in the 10th spot first, because that is binary. 1, 0 is 2 in binary. 1, 1 is 3. 1, 1, 1 on the horizontal is 7. But that is 3 ones for 3.14. As you can see, those are in the A line, right? At the very bottom. So I just illustrated with AAA, and that's how it continues. Now, what people don't understand is, how do I see that? Once you understand this process, things will make sense. And if you're missing some of the knowledge sets, it will not go out like this. So back in 2012, I was in scienceforum.net, and I was discussing about how I figured out time travel is easy. I called CBS, all the local stations. I even mailed, I mailed all the colleges. So I've burnt out every avenue. They know my name. Now, whether those people were on tenure and still remember my name, doesn't matter. That was a process I needed to go through. Viewed from the medical industry, the process that I needed to go through was schizoaffective undiagnosed, which I've explained to certain individuals throughout the way. I'm like, I understand I work differently. Based on your definition, what is the closest thing? Closest diagnosis that my language set, of which no one to my knowledge is speaking, even though I'm speaking English to you, I am actually calculating all this in my mind. Not just now that I'm talking, but also in the future. So I have to mitigate a predictive model that has most opportunities for positive gain among the masses, not just myself. All right. In order to do that, I need to remove any wants or needs that I have, which creates a caveat, a problem, because the medical industry wants you to take care of yourself. And I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. All right. If it's better for me to be out of the system and you'll move forward and do the right thing by other people, then that's that. I know a lot of different individuals have that mindset, but articulate it differently. So they're like, I can't explain it, but I know that I need you. I don't know how else to explain it. Now, that need can be filled by other people. A lot of people don't make it to the next step and figure out how to navigate between different options. They just don't have enough. They get stuck in their own loop. You know, I like video games, I'll play video games. The thing is that they play enough video games in the Gran Turismo movie, the very movie that I checked out on at this acute care facility they were watching on TV, simply said, they log in so many hours, and it's based off of this binary programming, okay? They have this knowledge. The additional conversation that I need to have is, if you view the internet, the URL itself, you're typing it in. That is a dictionary. It's all based off .com. Communications are commercial. It's all connected. That's what your brain knows. All right. Beyond that, you may not know binary. You may not know ASCII. You may not know all this stuff. But your brain is saying, hey, there's a connective thing here. You see it every day. Why isn't that not important? Now, with that being said, so you've got the .com creating a universal connective property. Then you have all these URLs, the actual thing before the dot. And then that's encompassed with the all-knowing HTTP. So ://. That is where we need to offer an option for decentralized economy. We've been building towards this. Like I've said multiple times, it's like, I've done this before. I know you've done this before. And the reason why that statement is classified as factual is because we dream. Our brain expresses things we cannot understand. So it's doing a predictive model, period. That's it. I had said back in 2010, 2011, before this, that I was Mr. E. And that said, it's really cool how this works out. Like, I'm just going to skip forward. So this is the 7-7 that's by the dotted box. Right next to that 7 is 1-6, and that's the P. And how that lined out was very simple. It kind of self-explained. So to my mind, and I can do this with any measurable tool. One, because it's correct. It just is. I don't know how else to explain it. You can get this down to this 3 square, 1 odd man out matrix in between the 24-hour mark, or you can do all that. But basically, ASCII 67 is C and 89 is Y. So it's ASCII CY. Y what? Y 101 is E, or 5, the 5th letter of the alphabet. And Y in the alphabet is 25. But anyways, 82 in ASCII is R. And then E, Mr. E. Nope, can't be for real. Can't tell you the truth. Anyways, the 9x9 square, I forget what that was. Anyways, you add up from 9935 to get 27. I think that's right. And the ones thrown in there. So that gave me the information I needed to do the 127, and then jump to the U, and then the 8, which 85 is U in ASCII, and then V, then you got 22. So that led me to say, all right, reiterate the binary, start back at 0, and do that. And then that's what I did, binary 2. And then this one was added today, 104. So literally that's the third black line. So you get 0, 1, 3, 4. Because 1, 0, we just iterated, is 2. So we're at 2, and then 3, and then 4. All right. So a 4 grid box, 4x4 is 16. That reiterates the 16 down below. Now, literally, let me count those. I didn't even think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 13. So where is the M? And that goes back to, if you count back 3, that goes back to 16, would bring you back to Mr. E. So it's a circular loop. But the 9 and 9 articulates that's a 9 grid square. So that's the hashtag number. And then the 4x4 is just letting you know that is the outer borders of a 2x2 square equaling 4. But the 7 itself is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3. So that this little and right to the right of the box is 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts it to the 4, so you know it's 4. And then what you do is you go back down to this bottom piece, and that's what that illustration is. It's 1, 2, 3, and then the 4. Okay, that empty spot. So I'm not going to argue more. I mean, I stopped here because it needed to get to at least this marker. I am right in what I said. I am right in this drawing. If I can draw a dot, I can recreate this entire thing. That's it. It's very simple. It uses shapes. Sounds are what we've been taught to coordinate with these shapes. All right. Now, as for the medication, here's the answer. I believe, and I've professed this throughout my time under psychosis, that I willingly believe everything's a placebo. Now, I fully know that there's chemistry and other body things and research behind this. Not the placebo, but chemistry. So I would say that to take that off the table. And for the first, 8 years, I was pumped full of medication. I then had to connect bridges based on those medications because they shut down parts of my brain. That they did their job. So at this most recent acute care stay, I already had the medication list in my mind and what I'm able to communicate with. Had I been put on Depakote, I would have had to start from square one. And then I would have got depressed because I gained weight. You're really just tearing people down to the beginning, which is good, but you're not offering an even outpatient. It's not there. I've been through outpatient. They keep telling me to go back to acute care because I don't know, broken system, one step at a time. There's your answer. There's what I'm trying to say. The most recent acute care stay facility, amazing for the therapy program. Now, the doctor made a rash decision based off someone that is using the same calculation method. And someone who actually knows how to do this didn't understand what part of the equation was there. They were using their whatever. Anyway, something bad happened. It was no comprende. Accident happened. Had I not been there, it probably would have been worse. It probably would have went to whatever it was, and a coworker, not another clientele, I guess that's the program, patient, whatever you want to die, customer, was not hurt, or it could have been hurt worse, and a coworker, a staff member that was providing the services was damaged. That is on the doctor for not communicating, not listening. That's it. All right. So that's me telling all doctors from this point. If this is not shared, this is the same action, because you know better, that I'm going to apply to the homeless community. They now know better. I am building a solution that if they don't make active movement, you will know right off the bat whether you need to sedate the fuck out of them and just let them rot in some RCF or not. I don't want to have my family, when I get my family together again, going into a restaurant and there's just needles or whatever in the parking lot. I don't want that. I don't think it's okay. Anyways, I care about my community. I care about myself. I care about you just as much as I care about myself. But certain educated individuals don't have time. They are spread thin. I understand that. I know that I can be one of those educated individuals and then repeat the same process, but that doesn't fix the broken cycle. It's not really broken. It is self-healing very slowly, but I don't know. I feel like I'm the last to learn this all the time, but in reality, I'm actually creating this in real time. So the reason why I feel like the last to know is because I know I've dreamed about this and articulated it so many ways of predictive models to have this conversation with you, just like the prior conversations on my video. All right. The major point I had to address with the therapist is that these individuals that are acting crazy as fuck basically just hit caps locks and no one told them that they're using body language incorrectly. All right. They learned something. They saw something. They don't know how to process it. And their family didn't know what they were articulating. So they allowed it to happen because they loved their individual. But no. We all started out as an egg and a sperm, to my knowledge. And now it's not the comedy time, but still, I don't know how babies are made. I'm going to stick with that. Don't know. I believe my mom. She said storks. And then there was the movie Storks. Makes sense. Plausible. And then Amazon came around with their Android baby model in case for people that, I don't know. I don't get it. There's that whole stork debacle that I have on my YouTube channel. What other thing? Or sex. One of the two. Now, sex. Let's go ahead and discuss sex. Sex is body language at its finest. That's what it is. All right? The problem is people know how to do the basics of sex. They don't realize that they're using that to get the euphoria afterwards to not have the conversation that needs to be had. Period. That's it. So drugs are made. And then we hit the good or bad, prescribed or not. That's what it is. Drugs, vitamins, all that stuff. So as long as you do right by everyone, including yourself, you don't have to worry about your actions or what you say because you're right. And the thing is accepting that everyone is trying to do the same, that they're right in that moment, doing 100% right by them and their community. We all just have to stop being so judgmental for a moment, at least a brief moment, to get some basic rules for measurement, for understanding if someone's actions are actually good or negative, and not require them to say one of two things to get help. That's it. That's it. All right. So right now, based on the medication route that I did, apparently I'm on a 10-year cycle, as far as I know, 5 or 10 year of RCF and redoing this to prove a point. So I don't think I should have to. I think I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that I know something you don't. All right. And my stuff makes sense. All right. Chronologically speaking, if you're in a dream reality or a simulation, when something was created, doesn't matter. Does not matter. You can't use that as an argument anymore, especially if you believe in a higher power. And if you're in this reality, you believe that a higher power created you, whether it be male and female, or someone that we can't even envision created us from the soil of the earth, which technically is your parents eat food and then they create that, and every 7 years it cycles. The reason why these patterns emerge and these recurring numbers is because it's been done. It's been done. We're just needing to write a different story. And I don't know whose feet I'm stepping on to hit errors. So anyways, I've said my piece, and I hope that everything works out for you. God bless America, and family first. Family first all the way. That's a hard one, especially when certain families don't have the extended language sets that an upper echelon family does. They come from abuse. They come from the streets. It's not that they're not speaking your language, but you're not allowing them time to explain themselves, which creates the fight, and a solution needs to be made. And all I am presenting is 3 solutions. 1, the website. 2, the drink company, and then a decentralized server that you can send these individuals that have half this logic set to create their own exciting experience, positively driven, to re-educate themselves and have fun with education again. And then at the end, everyone gets $25 million. That's the goal. But I love you. Have a good day, and Godspeed.